Thank you for everybody for joining us today. The first thing we're going to do is we're talking about Serra Spark and how important of a tool that is for us. The three people that will be presenting is Judy Cousins, who will talk to us a little bit about the history and how it was developed and how we came about having such a wonderful tool. I'll be talking about some of the mechanics, how to surf around it and how to get on and how to use it in that respect. And then Dr. Ann Rote, who is our Vice President of of Vocations, will be going through the details and the content of what is on the Serra Spark. So with that, you should be able to come away today understanding a little bit more about Spark, how to use it, who to refer people to it, and actually how to use it also. So with that, we'll start out things today with Judy Cousins, our past president of the U.S. Council.
One of the things we forget is that we are so fortunate to be Serrans because we're actually in a national organization. So I'm proud to be a Serran. It's the best investment I can make in the future of our church. And it's reasonable. You know, we are the vocation arm of the Catholic Church, and we are the only lay organization aggregated to the Vatican. So when you think about that, we have a special connection to the Vatican and to the United States Council of Catholic Bishops and all the Catholic organizations because we are the official lay vocation arm of the church. So it's not unusual that the United States Council for Catholic Bishops came to Serra with a special need. So I want you to realize that about 30% of the vocation directors are new every year. So that when they come into this office, it's really a hard time. First of all, they're just a little overwhelmed about all the programs and all the things. So one of the things that happened was that Father Ralph O'Donnell was the Secretariat of Clergy, Consecrated Life, and Vocations. And he came to Serra with this need. He said, could you help me get a resource for vocation directors so we'd have vocation activities that are all prepared and ready to go? And of course, not only would this be good for vocation directors, it would be good for vocation promoters. So that's exactly what happened. So after a discussion with Rose Sullivan, the director of the National Council of Diocesan Vocation Directors, we went ahead and prepared serraspark.org. You know, and it was just, it was an interesting task, you know, when you're like, how do we start? How do we find out what really the needs are? Well, we went to the vocation directors, to the experienced ones, and said, what are the best programs? What are your needs? What do you really need? It was interesting to me in doing this survey that 88% of them had their first need was a surprise to me. They wanted vocation talks for different levels, for elementary school, high school, young adult. And I thought, oh, that's unusual to me that, you know, 88% of anybody agrees on what they want. But that was what the need was. So I asked one of the vocation directors, who's a friend of mine, why is that? Why would you want vocation talks? Wouldn't you know that already? He said, Judy, you don't understand. It might be 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night, and I realize, oh, I have to go speak tomorrow morning at the high school, and I don't have a talk ready. But if you show me a good vocation talk and give me that resource, I can make it my own in about 10 minutes, and it'll be a great thing. So on the website, we have vocation talks for those different levels, and each one of them also has a video that goes with it. And it even tells the vocation director where to put in his personal stories. But, you know, if you as a Serran wanted to talk to an elementary school, it would also tell you what to say, or to a high school. So one of the things about this beautiful resource, it's not only there for vocation directors, it's there for vocation promoters. You know, I always think about when we were at the National Council of Diocesan Vocation Directors, the NCDVD, you know, we had contacted Rose Sullivan, the director, and worked with her to make this program happen. And then we went to the National Council of Diocesan Vocation Directors and presented it. Serra money at work. Your Serra dollars is what made this happen. If we didn't have a national office, there would have been no Serra Spark. So it was beautiful. And in sharing that with the vocation directors, one of them came up to our booth later and he said, "You don't understand how beautiful this is. I'm a vocation director half-time. I have 3 parishes and I have no secretary. And I want you to know that it's so wonderful that I can go to serraspark.org, download a vocation activity, put my diocesan name on it, and use it. I may want to change a couple little things, but most of it's done for me." And this is the same for you as a Serran. If you want to use a program off of serraspark.org, nothing's copyrighted. You can just use it. So this is a wonderful resource for vocation directors and vocation promoters. I want to share with you another thing that really makes Serra Spark unique. And that is that, when you have a book, if you want to change something in the book, you have to have a new edition or a supplement, and it's hard. But as a website, if somebody says to us, "Oh, Judy," or Ann Rote, who's now the chairman of the vocation committee, "Ann, we tried this program out and we use this idea and it works so well." Guess what? We can go into serraspark.org and very easy add your new idea and make it even better. So when you're doing vocation programs in your diocese and in your parishes, please help us if something needs to be improved or if you have a new idea. Also things can be modified very easily. We had a parish contact us and they say, "We have a Spanish speaking mass and we'd like to have a traveling crucifix in Spanish." So within a month, there it is on the website, ready for them to use. Sometimes we get people will tell us you don't have enough on women vocations. Well, we do have things on women vocations on the website, and we're adding a new one right now called the Discernment House for Women. And that program will be on within a few weeks on the website. So once again, we serve not only the priesthood, we also serve other religious vocations. Sometimes people question their dues, but I want you to tell you, your dues are the best investment you can make. You have helped pay for the Serra office. And without the Serra office, there'd be no Serra Spark because they're the ones that update the website for us, manage it, and watch out for it. Plus, they helped us design it. So know your money is well spent. I always think about, we are equipping the people on the front line of vocation work. There's a lot of soldiers out there in the field working to improve and get more vocations for our Catholic Church. But we need to give them tools to use, and that's what Serra Spark does. It equips the people on the front line of vocation work. So your Serra dues are the best investment you can make. It's less than $9 a month that we pay to the Serra International and the United States Council. And those dues are doing great things for vocation work. So just know that through those dues, we've been able to provide Serra Spark. It's Serra Spark, your one-stop shop for all your vocation needs. Easy to find, easy to use, available 24/7. I just want to share with you that I have been so privileged to work on Serra Spark and to hear the comments from so many people about the beauty of this resources. But we have to make certain that our Serrans know about it so that they can do things for us. So this is really important. So please help us by supporting Serra and being a Serra member. So when you're talking to new members about membership, make certain you mention how their dollars are well spent for serraspark.org.
The purpose here is, how do you access Serra Sparks? I think most of us know how we can go to our browser. Now, what is a browser? Sometimes I have to start with the basics. And I'm not that big of an expert, but I do know that browsers, the names of browsers are Google Chrome, Firefox, Microsoft Edge. Those are some of the major ones. Safari, if you're using some sort of iPad or some sort of Apple product. Anyway, those are all browsers. So when you go to your browser, you can go to and access things on the internet. It allows you to go from different locations, from different web pages to web pages. And so that's why we need to have a browser. So when you go to your browser, all you need to do is go to serraspark.org. But to be honest with you, you don't even need to do that actually. You can actually go to, this is my browser. It happens to be Google Chrome. I also use Edge and a few others also, but this happens to be Google Chrome. I can actually go to a search engine, Google for instance, and it'll come up. Now here's the Google search engine right here. So there's two different things there. One's a browser, one's a search engine. Google Chrome is a browser. Google is a search engine. So in other words, when people say Google something. So you don't have to hand out cards that says www.serraspark.org in order to access it. Just tell them to go to the website. And they would just go, I just put Serra Spark in there, and you can see what comes up. And sure enough, you get the Serra Spark. This happens to be the U.S. Council website. So you can click on that. And when that comes up, and there it is, there's the U.S. Council website. There's a tremendous amount of information on this website. And the main thing that we're looking for at this point, though, is right here. You can access Serra Spark from the U.S. Council website. And so all you have to do is click on that, and up comes Serra Spark. And there you have it. Now, you can go directly to Serra Spark through your browser by just going on serraspark.org, and you will come up with it too. The reason I'm telling you this is because I see so many people, think that people need to know the exact address. They do not. All you need to do is be able to search on it, and it will come up. Now, most of us think of Serra Spark as a website, which it is. You also think of it as you access it on your computer, and yes, you do. However, most of the people, most of the priests, the young priests that are vocation directors, will probably not access it by their laptop. They will probably access it by their smartphone. And I can tell you that you should make sure everybody that you deal with on this, you tell them that if they access this on their smartphone, it is fully optimized. It looks a little different than on the website, which because it's your iPhone or your iPad is a different type of device, it has been optimized so it's easy to run through this just straight up and down. So if you have an iPhone, I would suggest you go to it and try it, or some sort of smartphone, and you will see how great it is. It has the same basic branding as the website does, but you will see that it works pretty much the same way. Now, the important thing about the website is this. First of all, you have these bands across the top. It's got, for those of you that cannot see on your computer, it's got Home, it's got Tools tab, it's got a Video tab, the U.S. Serra website, Serra International, and then Contact. So what are these for? Well, let me just start from back to forward. Contact. If there's something, I've just pressed it, that comes up, and if you would like to leave a message or want to contact somebody or have questions or anything about it, all you have to do is put your title, name, email address, and write your question. And there's a few other questions that there are in there. And then you send the message. And that goes to Chicago, and then the Chicago office will get those emails and we'll get a chance to answer those. Next one is the Serra International website. If you click on that, you will go to Serra International. And so that's always kind of nice to know. And but it's easy access there. I'm going to get out of that right now. Okay, this is something that I think is important. videos. This is something that probably people do not realize is on here. And that's going to be coming up. You can see up here that it's working right now. So my internet might be a little bit slow today. And so I've got to fill in some talking while it comes up. And here it is. Here is the videos that are on here. And as you can see, if you are talking to a vocation director or even a priest in a parish, and they want something to speak to some of the youth about vocations, this is a fantastic area to look at. We have vocation videos for men and vocation videos for women. And then each one of them are broke down into 3 different segments each. One is for elementary school and middle school. That's one. Then high school is another. And then collegians and young adults. And those 3 categories are in both areas. Now, when you go there, I'll just click on one of them. Elementary school, for instance. By the way, some of these videos are great for meetings, for Serra meetings. Now it's coming up. This is videos for men, elementary and middle school. Now I'm hoping this works. First of all, I'm just going to do one here. This is how it looks. How to start discerning the priesthood. It's 4 minutes and 26 seconds. We are not going to go through that entire thing, but hopefully this will run for you. It's important to know about these videos because, again, they are something that people that are working in the vocation world, in the vocation business, this is just a tremendous asset for them. I would recommend everybody go through some of these. Now, you can get a little bit tired of looking at videos after a while, but a couple of them that I would recommend is this, the top 10 friar questions. Is just a wonderful, wonderful video about a young friar who talks about the 10 questions, the 10 most questions he gets about his habit. So that is the videos. And again, go through many of these videos on each one of these sections. Some of them are the same because they relate to both. But, and then there are some different for some of the older groups as well. So anyway, I would welcome everybody to go through that. Now, the really meat of Sparks is where the tools are, and that's what I'm going through now. And Ann Road will be going through a little bit more in detail on that. But there are all of these tools, and I know I went too fast, you can't see them, but there's 27 of them. Things like a vow of discernment program for women, the Melchizedek Project, the Master of Ceremonies, which is the master server. That's for when a server gets to the point that he is older now and he's moving on to college or maybe into high school. And so the priest can take him and give him some special duties. The Newman Connection, the Andrews dinners, and so on. The important thing here is holy hours, is that you can review these as a club and see what you would like to do. Now, the nice thing about each one of these programs is this. Here's one, number 17, how to organize school visits for seminarians. I'm going to click on that and bring this up. And the first thing you'll see is a video. And this is a video of a young man that comes up and he introduces what the program is all about. So you can click on that and it's just a very professional type review. Now, this is the summary. It's within the summary of what the program is, the program outline, and it tells time of year that it should be implemented, how much effort it costs. So there's a lot of planning that's gone into this. Now, the other important thing is you can click on this downloadable PDF, and really that's a great planning document. You don't have to sit and recreate the wheel. So each one of these programs has got a Sparks program PDF that moves forward in each one of these. So you can have each one of these you can do. So that's a little bit about it on how to get around. It's relatively easy it's not a complicated website. You've just got the home, and you can read something about, usually they start here with the adopt the ceremony, adopt a seminarian. Then it goes and it kind of walks through them using this tool. You've got a couple of videos here that you can go ahead and do. And again, I would recommend that you look at some of these. They are delightful videos. And there's a lot that are very serious too. So that is a little bit about what the Serra Sparks website is as far as how to surf through it and how to move around the website. So we'll get more questions towards the end of the full presentation. And at this point, I'm going to hand things over to Ann Rote, and she'll take over from here. Ann.
Welcome, everyone. So what we're talking about today is Spark, is Serra Spark, but really it's about building that culture of vocations. And on the, that's our whole role as Serrans, to get that culture of vocations throughout the United States, in our parishes, in our dioceses, and in our local clubs. So we know that our, we know that our mission as Serrans are really to foster and affirm vocations to both the ordained priesthood and the vowed religious life. And then as a takeaway from that, we're going to grow ourselves in holiness. We're going to grow in our Catholic faith. That's what we do as Serrans. On the vocations committee, what we want to do is really to support our bishops, our vocation directors in any kind of vocation activities that they have, and help promote that culture of vocations in our local Serra clubs, in each parishes, and then really within Catholic families, because that's our duty as lay people. There's a slide that I usually have, and I realize I don't have it today, but it talks about a particular canon, 733.1, which talks about our role as lay Christian faithful, and it's to promote vocations. So that's part of what we do in the vocation committee. I want to talk a little bit too and mention that the Serra Spark, Judy gave you a wonderful history about it, and we still get vocation directors who will call with questions about it, because vocation directors, I seem to think, have a life of about, maybe 2 years, and then they go on to be a pastor. So we're always getting inquiries about Spark. And so I've actually taken some vocation directors through the website just to let them know. I'm also, when I go and speak at our Serra clubs, I want to make sure Serrans know about Spark, and I don't think they do. So I'm so glad you're all on the call, and John's going to make this go-to meeting actually as a resource for people in clubs to know about, because Serra Spark is an amazing, amazing tool. There are right now, today, at this minute, 27 tools that are guaranteed to help build that culture of vocations. I'm going to say 27 right now, and if you're listening to this sometime after June 15th, 2020, there's probably more, because Judy's got a great one on discernment houses for women that hopefully we'll be getting on the website too. So right now there's 27, but we're growing. The tools, and I think Dick was showing you a little bit about it, the tools themselves can be tailored to meet the specific needs of your club. So, and I'll talk a little bit about how, like my own club in Lafayette, Indiana, how we've sort of tailored some of those tools to meet our needs. I also, and I'm going to hold it up, do it the old-fashioned way. This is the Serra Spark sampler, and this sampler has the 5 most popular, best, guaranteed to get vocations tools imaginable. And this sampler, which collects all those particular 5 tools, it's a book, and I usually give it out when I go visit people and say, hey, you've got to see this resource. And it's available from our, I think the Ani Vocations, you can get it from them, or if not, then contact the national office, the Chicago office, and John will send out a bunch to your club. But it holds the top 5 tools. And these tools were when Serra Spark first started, these were the most popular tools. And 2 years ago, we did a survey asking clubs, what are you still using? What's working? And those were the top 5. They flipped in order a little bit, but those were the top 5 tools. They still remain that today. So I want to speak a little bit about those 5 tools and highlight them and maybe give you some ideas for your own club. First, did you know these tools, the 27 tools that we're talking about, they're actually divided into types of tools. So if your club really wants to work on, maybe you're not doing enough in the way of prayer, well, then you want to pick one of our prayer tools. Or if you say as a club, you know what, nobody's aware of the fact that they might have a vocation. What do we do to make people more aware, our young people? Then you want to probably look at some awareness tools. Affirmation tools, every club should be doing this, because these are the tools that we use when we want to affirm our priests and our pastors and everybody who's working in the parish. And then finally, that invitation and encouragement. These tools are important because sometimes people just need that little extra boost to look at a vocation. So clubs, when you're trying to decide what do we want to do for the coming year as far as promoting that culture of vocation, look at the categories and then pick something that's going to help you as a club. Dive into that a little bit. Those affirmation tools, these are the ones that I said, they encourage people currently serving. This is great for your pastor, a priest, brothers or sisters. They really give that appreciation to those who are already in the trenches working for us. The tool for that is tool number 11. You notice we have the tools numbered, very easy. So those are our annual vocations events resources, because you know what, there's 4 particular times that we celebrate vocations, like Priesthood Sunday or National Vocations Awareness or World Day for Consecrated Life or World Day of Prayer for Vocations. Now, let's cross our fingers because I'm going to press on this. Here are our annual vocations events. So I'm at tool 11. The video, there's always a video that talks to you about the tool, and then a lovely outline. But I really want to look at the resources, because you can read the summary, you can look at that program outline, how to implement it. This is good. The implementation is really good because it'll tell you what time of the year do you want to do this? How much lead time do you need? Is it something you can do in a week? Do you need a whole year to plan for it? Effort, is it really difficult for you to do? I've lost it. I'm going back. Is it really difficult for you to do, or can you do it a little more easily? Does it cost? What does it cost? That's always something you want to know about. It gives you the history of the program, but the other resources are great. So let's look at resources for the World Day of Vocations. All I'm going to do is press on this, and now I'm going to go away from the website, and what am I going to get to? USCCB, because you know what? On May 3rd, if your club was promoting that World Day of Prayer for Vocations, you would have been taken here, you would have found all the information, you would have found a downloadable holy card or a holy card that you could order from the USCCB. You would have found prayers both in English and in Spanish. You would have found suggestions for the prayers of the faithful. These are the universal prayers that we have in Mass, right after the Creed, if it's Sunday Mass. Prayers that a parish could use. Bulletin quotes. So if you want to have something in all the bulletins in your diocese, you can find the quotes right there, and you as a Serra Club can send them to the parishes in your diocese. This is a great resource. So you can always use that for to help promote that World Day of Vocations. Other ones here, World Day of National Vocations Awareness Week. I think this is coming up. Let's see. Yep, it's coming up November 1st to the 7th. you can go here, and this would not be too early to start planning for this, how you as a club want to promote that National Vocation Awareness Week. If anything, you want to make sure that your local Catholic paper is printing something. You may want to send resources to parishes in your diocese. But this particular, again, I'm at the USCCB website, tons of stuff to use here. So definitely use it. And this again is that tool that one of our ones on the sampler. This is where you would find Priesthood Sunday, all that coming up the end of September. Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to get out of here. And I'm going to bring that back up. Let's see, right. Okay, good. So those were the affirmation tools. Let's look now, awareness tools. Those awareness tools really help us build that positive culture of vocations. It helps create an atmosphere that we're going to find vocations emerging. So it's great to use in your whole community, in your parishes that your club touches on, or in the diocese. The Serra Spark tool, the sampler tool that I want to highlight here is one of my favorites, Traveling Chalice and Crucifix program for parishes. This is an amazing tool. Again, let me, good, it's going around. We're going to get there. Oh, here it is. Okay. Again, the website, video, summary, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And then just talking about what that tool is all about. But the traveling vocation or traveling chalice, usually the traveling chalice is used in parishes, and the traveling crucifix is used in schools. This is a great tool for promoting vocations to the priesthood and religious life. I'm going to show you what the kit looks like, and now I'm being taken away from our website, and we're on the Vianney Vocations website, and here's the tool. It's a traveling vocation crucifix. So what this particular tool would do, this kit, see it in the box, and it has a crucifix, there's prayer cards, there's some information on how to do this. If you have a Catholic school that's in your location, buy this for the school, present it to them, and then this box will travel from classroom to classroom on a weekly or monthly basis, just depending upon how big the school is. The students will say prayers. There's a little journal to write some of their reflections or maybe some prayer requests. And it's beautiful because the teachers can then do a lesson plan for vocations. This is also, we have the lesson plans all ready for vocations. We also have some for religious education programs. Now, if you have a parish, then you would like to, let's see, I'm going to click out of this. If you have a parish, then you would use the traveling chalice. And this is another where we have families sign up throughout the year, and they actually at Mass every Sunday, a different family will receive the chalice. Again, looking a lot like the crucifix, only there's a chalice, prayers, holy cards, a journal for them to write some thoughts, and this will circulate its way through the whole parish. We've got suggested prayers, sample bulletin announcements on how to get that going. This one here. This particular parish, when they were doing the traveling chalice, this is their website that they built, so parishioners can just sign up, and they know that they get that chalice, they take it home for a week and pray and sort of really do some good talking about vocations. So both the traveling chalice and the traveling crucifix are wonderful. Bob Barrett, who is in the Detroit area, his goal is to make sure every school in the Archdiocese of Detroit has a traveling crucifix, and he himself has bought 70-some kits and given them out in the schools. Great Serra. Bob used to be, I think he was regional director, I think, yeah, in the Detroit area. Okay, super tool. Going back to my PowerPoint. Okay, good. Those are other awareness tools. I just highlighted the one that's in our Spark sampler. So you see the rest of them, amazing, amazing tools to use. The invitation and encouragement tools, because sometimes lay people just, they're not saying that they have a vocation. Pope Francis has said we don't have a lack of vocations. We have a lack of people responding to vocations. And sometimes we as Serrans, we might see a young person and think, hey, you know, they really look like they have a vocation. And so these tools help us to invite them and encourage them to really think about that vocation. Because oftentimes we'll see those qualities that we know would be so helpful in the priesthood or vowed religious life. So we want to use some of those tools. So if your club is looking at ways to offer that encouragement, this would be a tool. One of the things that our club does is we couldn't do it this year because, yeah. So on at the Chrism Mass, we host a dinner for young men who are thinking about, high school men who are thinking about that call to being a priest. And they just get together with all the priests in our diocese, and it's a wonderful thing. And then they go to the Chrism Mass. It's absolutely a wonderful opportunity, that invitation. So some of the wonderful tools here, you can see there's a bunch. The called by name, altar server awards, but the one that is in the Spark sampler is the Adopt a Seminarian. That is really a very important tool. So let's have a look at that. Okay, again, everything's organized the same. I love it because it's so well thought out and so well put together. The time, it says started in early fall. You know why? Because that's when they're going back to school, and that's when maybe some of them are going to the seminary for the first time. This is a good time for that Adopt a Seminarian. Lead time, medium, effort, low. Cost, it's really not that much of a cost. Different ways to do it. This is a great article from the National Catholic Register that talks about how important it is, that Adopt a Seminarian program. Our club in Lafayette, we've been doing this for years, and every single month we hand out stationery with a name of one of our seminarians on it. And whatever Serran gets that, your job is to write to that seminarian words of encouragement. Sometimes you might throw a little bit of money in there or something for them. But it's just a great way to help the seminarians know that we're praying for them, that we're remembering them. Some of our Indianapolis club with the Adopt a Seminarian, they actually go, they have a Simon Brute Seminary right in the Archdiocese, and they will go there on a monthly basis to visit seminarians and just to encourage them. There's no limit to what you as a club can do in the terms of adopting a seminarian. But this is really a great tool. So I urge you, this is probably the easiest, in my opinion, to do, and you really should be doing something like this to encourage our young people, our men who are in the seminary right now. So that's invitation and encouragement. And the last tool, and this is a critical one, the prayer tools, really to acknowledge that we depend upon God for everything, and we depend upon Him for calling those who will serve the church. So we really want to have those communal prayer activities and encourage families and individuals to for prayers. We've got a number here. I just wrote a little bit of something on the Homebound for the Serrans, so hopefully you'll get that magazine soon. The 31 Club and Holy Hours are both tools that are mentioned in the Serra Spark sampler because they're our most popular, best tools. The 31 Club, easy. Boy, some of the resources in this particular tool I think are just outstanding. Again, a video summary, program outline, really no effort, no cost. It's basically, I love this. So here's here's a PDF. All this stuff is unloadable, is loadable. You just press it and print it off and personalize it for you. So this is the, so this Catholic community of St. Elizabeth Ann Seton, they had a 31 club pledge. So basically, people pledge to pray for vocations on a particular day of every month. That's why it's called 31, because you need 31 people to make this work. You can do this in your club. You can do this at parishes. You can do this with 31 people that you can find that would like to do it. So this, look, is a Serra Club of North Central Dallas. Get this, personalize it for your club, and start praying for the 31 club. There's a brochure that this particular parish put together, and it just talks. Look at this, so easy, and then you can just put your information right there. But it talks about the 31 club praying for vocations on a every day of the month. So again, an excellent a bulletin to let people know how to do it. But this is a great tool. Holy hours. We do this in Lafayette. Actually, I belong to the Cathedral Parish, and that's where we hold our holy hour for vocation on a monthly basis. Every Monday, except not right now because we're on lockdown, every Monday from 7:15 to 8:15, our deacons, who are also Serra members, run this holy hour. And it's just basically coming together, praying with adoration. And then we also offer confessions, now that I think about it. But you can tweak that how you would like to do. But our Serrans are running this every month. I think this has been going on for maybe 3 years right now. But the program, it's an hour. So just find a parish that's going to host you for an hour. Eucharistic adoration, you're going to need a priest, or you could get a deacon to expose the Blessed Sacrament. The Holy Hour, there's one of our resources here. Here's exactly what the Holy Hour would look like. You have a reading, you have a psalm, you have another reading, you have a gospel reading, you have wonderful intercessions. They give you some ideas for scripture, some ideas for music. And here is the total program right here. You just need a leader for this. You've got to get permission to do it. Another resource, a holy hour for vocations from the USCCB. This is like a no-brainer because it's all right there for you to do. It's extremely easy, and I think it's such an effective tool. So that holy hour for vocation. There's other prayer tools too. I draw your attention to Newman Connection. I hope clubs are doing that. Another time, I'd love to deep dive into Newman Connection and talk about that. But on the vocations committee, our whole goal is to help you build that culture of vocations in your club. We have I'll plug my own committee that we have a call every other month, and we sort of look at some of these tools and talk about how to use them. As Judy says, because this is on our website, it's so easy to add other tools. If you think of a tool, if your club has got a tool, please tell me, send me an email or send it to the Chicago office and they'll get it to me. Let me know what's working for your club. And then we talk about it, and I see Ann McCormick is on the call. Ann McCormick, the wizard of the website, when we get things together, we'll forward it to her and she'll get it on the website. So we're looking forward to the day we can have 28 tools, and that Culture of Vocations. Ann got permission for us to use this picture. This is from St. Mary's in Hudson, Ohio, where they had 7 vocations to the priesthood in 7 years. And so that's what a Culture of Vocations look like.